We all share one burning desire: to sculpt our bodies to possess massive strength and have unlimited women wanting us. And let's face it, we also want the respect of other men. Through our physiques and relentless dedication, we strive to push ourselves to achieve this desire. And you know what? We will get there, slowly over many years. But here's the thing: there's a shortcut that promises all of that much faster, and we all know what that is: steroids. Now, before I get into this, I want to assure you that I know what it takes to build a body without the aid of steroids. I've spent multiple years pushing my body to its limit. So through this personal experience, I am speaking from a place of knowledge and understanding. Trust me when I say I'm not just some dumbass who's never lifted a weight, who's about to go deep into the topic of steroids without ever even having been to the gym. I was benching 100 kg for reps before I went into maintenance. And I don't care what you think, that is hard. Might not be the hardest thing on the planet, but it is hard. You don't just walk into a gym and start benching 100 kg for reps instantly. It just doesn't happen. You know it doesn't. Alright, let me share something with you that happened to me exactly 5 days ago. It was early morning, around 7:30 a.m. So I was out getting my usual dose of morning sun, and something that I found incredible occurred. I witnessed a man with no legs riding a bike made for Paralympic athletes, wearing the British cycling team outfit. He was literally an Olympian, and he was crushing it. His massive arms were spinning the wheels of his bike as he powered up a huge hill directly outside my house. I'll show you it now. And it was mind-blowing to see someone with such a clear disadvantage outshining my own fitness performance. I mean, seriously, how could someone with no legs outperform me? Now, I don't mean to sound harsh, but in the world of fitness and just life, having legs over not having legs, it's clearly a huge advantage. But this man seemed completely unfazed by it, and it got me thinking. I couldn't help but think, is he on steroids? Could that explain his extraordinary performance? It's well known that a lot of high performance athletes take steroids. Lance Armstrong. Or was he simply a better man than me? Deep down, I knew he was just superior. Even if he had had some help, which I shouldn't assume anyway, steroids alone couldn't account for his extraordinary dedication and mental strength. I mean, the man has no legs. If I'm being honest, that encounter shattered my self-image. He'd unintentionally made me feel inadequate. It really got me questioning my own situation. Lately, I've lost my way with workouts a bit. You know those months where you just can't seem to get it done? Or maybe you don't, but I do. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and I don't claim to be. So 5 days ago, when this encounter happened, I was barely managing to hit the gym twice a week. It was pathetic, and I would blame it on time and all sorts of excuses, but it's all just bollocks. And I knew it. I've just about been maintaining my current physique without pushing myself further at all. And then I started thinking, but what if it gets worse? What if I completely lose my motivation and revert back to the fat, lazy loser I was 4 years ago? Honestly, the thought alone is unbearable. So now, after witnessing this absolute G of a man, and he was a G, the idea of taking steroids starts crossing my mind. I started thinking maybe that's the answer. In just 6 months to a year, I could be absolutely jacked, a beast. I could go from putting on the standard average of 0.5 to 2 pounds of muscle per month to 20 pounds. Now, I'm not an idiot. I know that steroids aren't just some magic pill that'll just instantly transform anyone into a ripped, muscular beast like The Rock. That's just not how it works. Even with the aid of steroids, you still need to train properly and you still need to put in the work. But let's also be real here. They do intensely help. You're talking about 10 to 20 times the gains compared to not using them. 10 to 20 times. And you'll see results far faster. You can do in 2 months what takes someone not on the gear years. That kind of progress would be a major motivation booster. It would create a positive feedback loop that fuels your desire to keep pushing further. The one that you get anyway from the gym, but it's amplified by 20. I get it. I really do. The allure is undeniable. But at the same time, I know deep down that taking steroids is just idiotic and lazy. Yet still, at that point, I was considering it. I could make one phone call and have me in an hour tops. I know far too many drug dealers. But it also got me thinking about a friend of mine who tragically ended his life. He had started taking steroids at the incredibly young age of 20. And we still don't know why he did what he did. But it's hard not to wonder whether steroids affected his mental health, which therefore made him do what he did. And then it got me thinking about my other mate who's completely against steroids and is absolutely jacked. It's only taken him 3 years to get to where he is through hard work and dedication to his craft. If I was going to take steroids, I needed to research them properly. I needed to understand all their effects and how they actually work. Because sure, many people who take steroids look incredible. There's no denying it. Some of them look a bit too big for my liking, but that's just personal preference. But I also know they can mess with your head and your body. And considering my own shaky mental health in the past, I just didn't know if it was a good idea. Yet still, I was completely torn at this point. Okay, now let's shift gears a bit and talk about what I discovered during my research. I started digging into the greats who had openly admitted to taking steroids. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronnie Coleman, Dorian Yates. Some of these bodybuilding legends faced severe health problems. Ronnie Coleman, for example, has undergone loads of surgeries to deal with the toll that steroids took on his body. And Dorian Yates, once an absolute beast, now struggles with imbalances and chronic pain that basically prevent him from lifting weights at all. He literally can't even train anymore. It's heartbreaking to see their journeys and the sacrifices they've made for success. It really got me thinking, do I want to end up like that? I'd made up my mind. Now, as I said before, I can't deny the allure of steroids. I completely understand why people are tempted by the promise of rapid progress, but they are not for me. I refuse to sacrifice my long-term well-being for short-term gains. I won't judge you if you choose to use steroids, but after serious, careful consideration, I can't help but think it is idiotic and lazy. So I sort of do judge you a little bit, but I wouldn't worry about it. And trust me, to those doing them, I do think one day you will regret it. It's just not worth it. I don't need steroids to achieve my goals. I'm a young man already full of testosterone. Life has literally given me the natural tools I need to build muscle. It's time for me to stop being a lazy coward, practice what I preach, and get myself back to the gym. And you know what? That's exactly what I did. I wrote up a new plan for myself, went straight to the gym, and had one of the best sessions I've had in a long while. The gains might not come as fast, but they will be authentic, and that's something I can be proud of. And obviously it goes without saying, if you're a high performance elite athlete like the Olympian, or you're high up in the UFC, or baseball, or football, or any of these sports, and you have to level the playing field, or you will literally fail at your job, then things are a little different. A lot more variables have to be taken into consideration. But remember, these guys have full-on teams monitoring them and giving them the exact right dose of the exact right stuff for their needs, watching them, monitoring them carefully, which lowers the risk massively. It's still cheating in my eyes though. If you're not allowed to do it in a sport and you do, it's cheating. It's as simple as that. Should it be classed as cheating? Should they even be illegal? In my opinion, no. You can do whatever you want to your body as long as you're not hurting someone else. And if they were legal, then everyone would get that same high performance elite level athlete treatment. And then, well, things might change. There'd be more variables to take into consideration yet again. But you'd still have to deeply think about it, because so far the studies show that it absolutely fucks you up. But that's a different matter, a different topic for a different day. I'm talking about guys just shoving gear into themselves with barely any knowledge. And I know some of them do have knowledge, but they aren't getting paid to do it. So you're just hurting your health for no other reason than that you can't be arsed going through the full efforts that you need to put into the gym to get yourself looking jacked. Exactly the same as what was happening to me. Jeff Nippard's a natural. I know he is. I can just tell from the way he conducts himself and the way he talks and even the way he looks. And he's absolutely huge because he's put in the effort. I've seen guys that look worse on steroids than guys that aren't on steroids because they think it's just a straight up cheat code like a GTA all weapons cheat. It's not. As I said, it intensely helps. And I mean massively. But if you think that you're gonna take them, go and do a couple of bicep curls and look like Arnie, you're in for a huge hit to your health and your ego. Guys, I want you to remember this. Steroids might seem like an easy way to stand out, especially when it feels like everyone else is doing them. But take a step back and think about the long term. Check on those who have been using them for 10, 20, 30 years. Are they still maintaining their physiques? Are they healthy? Are they even alive? You see, lazy people like I was considering becoming are always looking for shortcuts. But if shortcuts actually worked with no downside, nothing in life would hold any value because everyone would be able to do it. Achieving something truly great in this world is hard. It's a long, challenging journey filled with ups and downs, pain and suffering. But when you look in the mirror and know that what you accomplished is purely from hard work and dedication, that feeling is priceless. I urge you not to sacrifice your future for temporary gains. Don't start thinking like I was. It's a dark thought pattern and it's actually hard to get out of. The future is inevitable, and when you get there, you want to have your health intact. Let's not become these lazy idiots that had it all and lost it because they weren't patient enough to put in the work. Let's train hard, let's train smart, and embrace the journey with all of its challenges. Together we can achieve greatness, naturally and authentically. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please leave a comment and a like for the algorithm and let me know your own thoughts on the topic. Peace out, I'll see you in the next one.